Good morning, everybody. Are you up for the first panel discussion? So let me briefly once again to say hello to everybody. Thanks for your attention. Let me invite the panelists. Please, Rokas Tamošiūnas, the boss of first in the Baltics accelerator, Startup Highway. Let's welcome Rokas on the panel. As well, please welcome Tomas, who is the AppCam, the #1 in the world AppCam labs with the global leaders. He's the founder and the CEO. Everybody, welcome Tomas. And please welcome Dovydas, who is the partner of one of the first and the biggest seed and venture capital funds. As they say, last but not least, Mr. Arvydas Strumskis, who's become in Lithuania the brand of its own. He's the partner of Angel Fund 1. So welcome everybody. We'll start the panel. I'm the director of the Enterprise Lithuania Entrepreneurship Department. So I'm the responsible for everything that's happened here. So guys, welcome to the panel. Let me start with the question, Rokas. Please tell us why it's good to start in Lithuania, and how would you do that if you were a startup, not necessarily born in Lithuania?
All right, thank you for the question. First of all, good morning to all of you. It's good to see you here, and it's good to be here. It's also very bright to be here. Let me start by answering, why it's good to start in Lithuania and what's so good about all of us and our guests here. I think first and foremost what we have to now state and finally acknowledge that we have a fully developed startup ecosystem, and that includes everything. First and foremost, that's the community, and if you want to see where the community is, it's out there. The whole fair, everyone out here, all the guests, everyone, all of us, we've built this over several years, and now it's really big and growing, and it's full of very interesting people, and the momentum has been taking up. Next, it's the startups. I think if Paulius has said that we have only few really major success stories, I think more success stories are coming up definitely. We're working on them. We're working on them in dozens. Dovydas is working on them. Everyone is working on them. Tomas will tell he's working on them in thousands, I believe. We already have number of startups who not just made it big in international sphere, but we also have, I don't know, dozens of startups who are funded, who made it to international expansion. Probably, I know, the number is speaking up very soon. On top of that, we have a lot of other key infrastructure things. I think arguably we have the biggest hackathon in Europe. That's AppCamp. Tomas will tell about that, but I think we actually do have the biggest and best of that kind. We have an accelerator which I lead, which is in for its third class. It was the first in Baltics, one of the first in the region, and hopefully will also end up being one of the best, or the best, hopefully. Time will tell. On top of that, we have investors who are very active, who are very real. They're here, 2 of them, so we actually have more investors in this panel than anyone else. They make investments frequently. They are very approachable. If you guys in the audience are looking for funding, feel free to approach. They have stands. They're here. You can ask them, and they have stuff to tell. So all of that put together, I think we have a very impressive set. Looking back a few years, it was not the case. Today, we have everything in the book. Everyone who matters is in this conference. Big companies, big investors, big name international guys. And I think we're definitely picking up the pace and going forward.
So the question for you, as you mentioned, it started a couple of, several years earlier. And I know you've been one of the leaders who have started the Open Coffee Clubs and the other clubs, startup clubs. But speaking about nowadays, how is the startup material? How is the startups which apply to accelerator? Could you tell us a bit about the numbers and the quality?
Yeah, sure. So Startup Highway is now up and running for something 17, 18 months. A lot of people think we're much, much older than that. So over those months, we invested in 10 companies and we received over the 3 classes nearly 1,000 applications. So that's over 2 years' time, right? Less than 2 years, that many applicants. And I can tell you, a few years back, I was speaking at the Government Innovation Day, and I was saying, look, we have too many of watching startups in Saulėtekis or too many of kebab shops, and that was the problem. Now today, looking at the hundreds of applications I'm reading through, as our deadline was this Monday, trash is completely gone. Local plays are almost completely gone. So we don't have people going for local things. We have people who are going after real global problems with global markets, with millions of consumers out there. I think the quality of the applications of the business cases has went up significantly. So overall, I'd say that it has been a very sizable step up in terms of quality, the mentality, and business thinking of people who apply for accelerators.
As well, can you please mention several of names, I mean, which you're glad of having, working with, accelerating, and as well, with that names, maybe could you mention some trends, where we're going in this part of the world, where you think what the coming trends are?
So you want a little bit me to praise how good are my investments? Oh, awesome! I've done 10 investments recently. They're all doing great, or almost all of them are doing great, and some of them actually went to some places. So today, here in the conference and during the 2 days, I think you have a chance to meet most of Startup Highway's investments. We'll see around half of them in the pitch challenge. So if you guys here on the second part of the day stay and watch, we have 3 of them with the stands over there in the corner. You can go and talk to them. I'd say when we started out, we were thinking, hey, we're probably good at business-to-business applications. And we've done some interesting business-to-business applications. But I think our number one by now is Sellfy.com, which is business-to-consumer. And I'd say, our corner, the sort of companies we work with, moved a lot from B2B to B2C. And the second best, maybe, or the second most bright startup is Dragdis, also here in that corner, with thousands of users picking up a lot of positive feedback, and that's C2C. So I think what we see is that both investors and mentors and the whole community is growing to accept more and more modern business cases and business models. So I have never thought, personally, I'll invest in a C2C company because I didn't saw the value in that. But today we have a very successful C2C company, and we're much more open to much more innovative business models.
Maybe you could tell us a bit about your future, about as the accelerator, where you're heading to, and you already told about some names, startups, and trends. What do you think, how your future as accelerator in all the ecosystem would change or stand still, and where are you heading? What's your next step?
All right, so I want to give back to the community here a little bit. First of all, maybe some of you have heard, a couple of weeks back we announced partnership with Practica Capital. So now everyone who goes on our program is eligible to get further up to 100,000 liras investment from Practica, and obviously you can negotiate for more with them. So what we essentially done, we've went on and we made a partnership which we're sorely lacking in Lithuania. So we are now friends, we're partners. And we also catalyzed a number of deals. So, the startups that go in the program, they have a much more secure way of finding further funding, which I think was lacking a little bit here. Also, we are increasing our mentors fleet. Today, Startup Highway, I think, has one of the biggest mentor fleets in Baltic and Nordic region, and arguably also around here. And we are expanding a lot on our international mentors. We are bringing a lot of foreign guests this year, also with the help of you guys. And I want to just send this message to everyone in the audience that if you want to meet our international mentors, last year what we've done, we've hosted events called Startup Network Academy. Every day our international mentors met with anyone in the community who cared to come. Just follow our Facebook page. So this year we're going to do the same. We're going to bring around 50 international names that are cool people to talk to, and we're going to make them publicly available in Startup Network Academy meetings every evening after the accelerators. Just follow Startup Highway Facebook stream, and if you want to meet the cool guys that we feature as mentors, come and visit us. And for Highway itself, I think we are finally rolling into 2 rounds per year, so more startups going to be invested every year, and obviously we're looking to grow bigger and better.
But speaking about the names, sorry for an unethical question, but who are the coolest guy for you? Who would be the coolest guy for the startups or startup community to meet up?
No, I'm definitely not identifying a single favorite. That would be definitely unethical. I love a lot of them. all of my mentors are also my friends, and I love working with them. They are distinguished individuals. So we had big names in terms of companies, Microsoft, Google, Facebook, you name it. This year we're adding SoundCloud to the list, obviously PayPal. You can meet PayPal over here as well. That's international, guys. A little bit of message here is the reason I name all of these big names, Google, Facebook, so on, is because they sell, right? Because if people hear, oh, they're going to be guys from Google and so on and so forth, I have to come here. But what you don't see as often in the press release is that we also feature an outstanding fleet of Lithuanian mentors, dozens of very clever and very successful individuals who really deliver value in the meetings. So I really stand behind every single mentor that we feature in the program.
Thank you, Rokas. It's, now I'll turn to Tomas. Tell us about a bit AppCamp Labs, the movement, and of course about the mentors and what the value you provide for the community, for the companies, in terms of the labs, in terms of the apps.
Hello, everyone. I want to ask how many of you maybe participated in AppCamp event. Could I ask to raise the hands? Ooh, okay. So it seems we'll need to get a big event venue for this year, so more of you will participate. And how many of you heard about AppCamp event? Could you raise the hands? Oh, it's more. So the ones who did not raise the hand, so please take a look, I don't know, in Facebook, website, and I believe you'll get it. So in November, I believe we're gonna have another event, which will be not smaller than it was. Just quick numbers, we had 450 participants, 60 mentors from 12 countries, and on the last day, 58 startups pitched, and 14 of them were awarded. So I believe a lot of you will be there this year. Talking about AppCamp Labs, our joint initiative with Omnitel and also with the biggest brands of phone manufacturers. I would say maybe how this idea came up. One of the things which we all see that we put Lithuania as one of the biggest IT infrastructure having country. Then if we're talking about Lithuania Progress Strategy 2030, we see we want to have a creative man. The future Lithuanian, let's say, Etalon is a creative citizen. Then we say we need to do something now to be in that goal on 2030. And the big potential which we see is IT. And the vision was to unite all IT universities and establish a joint labs involving different world brands as Huawei, Samsung, Microsoft, Nokia, and Sony. So from one side, we will get to our labs people the biggest intellectual things from those companies to understand what is going on from the technology point of view. So they will get the world-class knowledge. From another side, we said that we understand the apps development process because we do it on the daily basis. This is what the rest of the organization of AppCamp live. And we want to share it with the society, with the students. So instead of, let's say, if you have a 100% time split, then probably it's okay to have some for the women or men, yeah, and to get networking, some for the beer, but then some of the time needs to be invested in your education, and then if you do not convert it to the real product, then it's waste. If you do it, then it's something tangible. So we said, let's help students to convert it so they will end up university having a startup. So if in numbers, we need to understand that IT students in Lithuania is 5,000 in those universities in which we establish labs, and we're not stopping. On the same side, we are now tagging designer universities and business universities to form the really great startups. So we believe that out of those labs, if you see the visual over there, it will come up around 500 products per year. And we're also establishing, and with Practica, we also did that those startups who will understand and who will comply to the principles which Practica Capital established, they are obligatory to get 100,000 liters investment. So people start understanding why maybe instead of drinking beer, maybe few evenings it would be great to invest in the laboratory. And we say that, of course, not of them will get funded. And we all know that Pareto principle, that 80% of the beer are drunk by 20% of the students. Yeah? So we need to apply that. And we apply it, and we say that probably 100 of them will get funding. And we calculate it even for the government in terms of taxes, how much it will get back to the government in terms in 1 year. And this is a significant amount. And you need all to be proud, because if you guys gonna stay here and will create startups, this is what's gonna keep Lithuania, because if there will be no taxes, it's gonna be huge demographical problems in our country. And I want to stand for this country, I want to stand for you, and I think laboratories really helps that.
If speaking about, let's say I'm from outside Lithuania and I'm really into apps and I really want to develop a good app, I have an idea, could I be applied to the labs or to your system?
Yes, of course, and we already have some from US universities, even tech people and some business people who are looking a little bit wider also. And they say, why not in Lithuania to team up? Maybe something fresh will get out from there. And we know very good market, and maybe it's gonna be a good team. But as there is no yet result, so I'm saying that it's happening. And we already see that cooperation, that it starts working. So it's really great that we all understood that if we want to compete globally, we need to cooperate more and more. It's compete, the word which compete and cooperate. This is something new which is coming in the world, and this is a very important word to understand for all Lithuanian startups. Because if you want to succeed in the world, you need to start cooperating.
Tell me about Outcome Labs' future. I mean, are you thinking of developing more labs in Lithuania with other high schools, universities, or are you going abroad? Are you gonna go global? Where's the future lies? I mean, of this app camp movement.
We're discussing to triple the workplaces, because it is also physical workplaces with a lot of devices placed. And after the beginning of next month opening one more, we're going to have 100 working places established. And if to be honest, then we're going to announce the, let's say, for the whole world, because this is the first globally such a thing was established. And I think we need as the Lithuanians to be proud of it, that we created all together something good. And we're thinking about next year goals to triple it in Lithuania, and we started conversation about expanding it to another countries, because some of the countries see the value, but we want to work now really hard to get good success stories, and some of them, if you don't know, for example, application Mopkinas was created in KTU laboratory. There is great success story, I would say, with the robotics. And we seeing very nice robots already developed in that laboratory. In Vilnius Gediminas Technology University, we also now seeing the people who started developing Kinect technology. They are now already working in AppCamp, and it's only one place in Lithuania who actually do it commercially and give an offering for the clients. So I think in each of the lab now we have success stories, but we need to multiply it, triple, 10 times, and having that, then I think we will have recipes to multiply. Now we need to concentrate and deliver result.
Okay, thank you. It was quite an impressive. Donatas, you've been, you know, Rokas and Tomas have been showing the hand to you. Yes. So tell us a bit about the seed capital, how it helps the startups to boost their business, to boost their growth. How you do that? Magic.
It's no magic, it's just money, just investments made to startups. So first of all, I'm very happy to be here today and to know that the situation has changed so much from the past year, because if we have a logging conference, we have startup fair. That's crazy good, and I love to be here, and I'm so happy to hear these people talking about the movement that is going on, and I can see it. And I can see it through the numbers, and I can see it through the companies approaching our fund seeking for capital. That's good news, and we do invest, as guys mentioned, and we do cooperate with all the initiatives what we hear here, and we're happy to do that. And in sorry. probably most important is that we're going to continue investing. So, answering to your question, money and investments probably is very important besides of cooperation and teams to help these teams to go to international level. Because, you know, it's very hard to bootstrap and to do things in Lithuania and just to try to launch here and to get traction without money or without means to survive another 6 or 12 months, or to have means to go to London to do some other pitchings and things like that. So I'm very happy that Arvydas is here. Us as a fund also already operating for 7 months. Not long history, but we made 6 investments. Arvydas made more than probably 20 investments already. So we are here for another 3 years. So
great, great to hear that. Congratulations. But tell me about scorecarding, about your track record. So how many applications have you received so far per 7 months? How many you have reviewed? How many teams you have met? Tell us about the process, because I think that's where the investment magic happens.
So process is very simple. You just approach us anytime, any place. Give us a call, an email. We are very easy to find on the web or whatever. We are having even a presence here in the sphere. So we got about probably about 500 emails, calls, or approaches in the last 7 months. And we interviewed or spoke or spent more than an hour or two on more than 200 teams in general, in total. And this ended up in 5 investments already, 6. And we have 4 another in the pocket, which is gonna be announced in next month probably. So our kind of tempo is 1 investment per month, and we're planning to keep it up.
Great. So tell us, do you have anywhere some kind of, you make an investment, right? But it seems the team have to grow up to something bigger in order to scale. Do you have any place where it could grow, and kind of in an incubator where you grow, or sandbox where you grow the teams, and how it happens?
We do have a Startup.lt organization besides us, which helps a lot these companies we funded. But we ourselves as a fund has attitude of hands-on approach, meaning that we try to help as much as we can. So we spend a lot of time with the teams, and by doing it we learn to be a better investor for new startups, because by learning the way of startups and helping them every day, we know better and better what next startup gonna need from us and what we can provide for them besides of capital. So that's very important for us also.
I see. So congratulations on your investments, and that's where I'll turn to Arvydas and would ask, can you tell us about, because you merging 2 things, an angel and an entrepreneur, right? How this process, it's a tough process, how you manage that, and for the guys in the audience to understand how they could apply it, your experience.
Right. In reality, we are not merging anyone. We are investing into a company.
Investing into a company, yeah.
Yeah. So there are, in essence, there are 2 parties, or sometimes 3 parties, investing into enterprise. And we are talking about enterprise. It's not exactly team. It's not exactly movement. We are talking about limited liability company or whatever. So business angel and the fund putting cash, raw cash, no fantasy here, into company, expecting certain level of return on investment, and that's it. In reality, what we do is we are trying to figure out where is the lack of, let's say, cash is evident usually, but where is the lack of competence or knowledge or something else, and then we are trying to add on. So just pure cash is not exactly interesting. Usually we are trying to, some people call it smart money. So we are trying to make our money a little bit more smart. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't happen. What is also very interesting is that there are teams, and let's say who are converting into companies, and they seem to have very, very good potential, but they still need a little bit of early stage incubation, which is happening, I would say, now. Now and when the whole investment process seems to be more smooth. What we are really doing, in 1 or 2 words, we are building companies. It's not like motivating or something else. We are doing that. And what is also interesting is that last 3 years, some of our companies started trading, in various regions of the world. So some of our companies are buying raw materials, for instance, in Hong Kong, selling software, or introducing services into Dubai, Australia, and that kind of stuff. And that, things like that are happening in 3 years. When it comes to tech or IT investments, I want to mention a couple of things which we have noticed recently. Is when you are making your company or preparing your company, pay a lot more attention into architecture. It's one thing, and a cleanliness of programming. Please do that. I mean, it's very, very important. Because once investor is coming, we usually look at these parts, and time to time is, difficult a little bit. Another comment, we have been in touch with Indian tech companies, and one thing I want to say that, here in this country, we are a lot more better. There are more people in India, that's perfectly fine, but quality-wise, architecture-wise, I mean, in many cases, it's totally incomparable. So I think we've got phenomenal competitive edge now.
So you're saying we have technical talent pool, right?
So,
you're saying we have technical talent pool, right?
yes, absolutely.
So what do you think about the trends of monetizing as you as a fund manager, fund partner, where will you see yourself in 5-10 years exiting to where to and what kind of companies? I'm speaking more about tech.
Well, tech.
Yeah.
Well, pure dreaming, most likely, because we are a small country, and our companies are initially and in later stages are smaller than average. I believe that some of our companies will be acquired simply by larger players in the world. Another trend which I see is that more and more we are investing into narrow niches, or even more narrow niches than it used to be 5 years ago. So basically that means it's exactly what AppCamp is doing. We are trying to consolidate or put 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 companies into one. Actually, and by doing that, you are creating business case. By doing that, you are creating monetary viable solution. It's where I also see that some of our companies now, if they have not started cooperation in early stages, that would be dead end, absolutely. No money, no future, 6 months out. But now we see that once 1 or 2, 3 companies join, there is a fantastic chance. So my urge, and if somebody wants, I can stand on knees. Let's start cooperating, guys. Let's do that. Otherwise, 1, 2, 3 together, we can make case billion instead of 0. Sorry.
So what do you think if you're having experience with working with a lot of companies as an investor? How is your feeling? I mean, what should me say if I would be a startup? What should I do first? What are my first, glory steps I should make?
First fundamental glory step is to make, I don't know why, but to make a team lasting, and that's it. And that's it. Start with that. Sign papers, sign documents. If you need some formal agreements, but the team has to be lasting. Once, I see a lot fantastic ideas, and team is totally unstable. One has got one interest. Nobody is going to invest in that. So try to consolidate that. And
Donatas, can you reflect on that as well?
Yeah, I just would like to adapt. A stable team is the key thing, but you have to know what you want to do with money, with your team during next 12 months. That's the question I ask every team which is approaching me, and 7 times out of 10 I got answers like, we're gonna do marketing, we're gonna try to do sales. Yeah, but I do know that you're gonna do that. I want to know exactly what you're going to do. You know, what is a big goal with 12 months of money you asking from us, and how are you going to spend it wisely? That's 2 things I want to know. That's it.
Rokas, Tomas, as well, reflecting on the ideas how to apply to accelerator or Abcam labs. I mean, what could the team should be proud of?
Well, obviously, you know, from investor point of view, they're talking about the companies that come for them for investment.
Yeah.
And they're obviously right. They should have a team and they should know what to do with the money. I'll second both of the investors saying the team is absolutely key. Guys, I know we say this every conference and every speaker says people are the key, but that's really what it is. If you want to get selected for highway, if you want to go through Tomas process, if you want to get money from Practica and Business Angels Fund 1 together, and all the other big names that are here today, it really takes only one thing. Find outstanding individuals and form a team with them and have a lasting partnership that will not fall apart for at least 2-3 years or more. After that, you know, the ideas come. You know, we say a good team can carry through with a bad idea, and even the best idea will not fly with the worst team. So, you know, don't be so much focused on what's my idea, what's my business model, what's my market. Find the clever people around you. Sit down and work with them. And if along the way you discover, you know what, this idea is crap, let's run another one. If you already have these guys on board, you know, some of the investors around the world even take on good teams without ideas and give them a little bit of time to think until they generate something interesting. So obviously team is number 1, and we can't stress this enough. Ideas are second, and as Arvydas well put, it's teams that convert into companies, not ideas. And within the companies, pivots happen, they change ideas, they build new products, they open up new markets. Obviously, being smart people, you should also make smart decisions on what to do with the money before you ask money of Matas.
I'll maybe point 3 things. One of the things I wish to the teams is first, create your vision. This will help you out because the product will change on your journey, definitely. But if you have it, it's going to be more easily for you to think each of the movement, does it correspond with it or it's not? So this is first what is very important. And then you split it to from 3 years to year, and year you do as Donatas asked, split. I'll spend so much money on that and I'll achieve this. So it's simple as that. Second thing, then investors say to you no or asks very interesting questions. Put them on the piece of paper. Think about the magic question why. Why they ask. If they do not invest, why? There is always that question. And if you did not get an answer, ask for an answer, because it will help you to improve. So continuous improvement should be in your DNA. This is very important, I would say. And seeing a lot of startups, one of the things, and maybe I'll mention the biggest place for improvement for a lot of them is sales and marketing. And if you are in love in your product, somebody needs to be very aggressive, pitching the markets. Different ones, trying, learning, coming back, reviewing product, updating, and going to the market. Because the only one thing in each company, which is the profit center, is the client. And you all need to understand that. It's not product you're in love. It's not the best great team. If there is no client, there is no salary. So it's simple as that. So 3 things take into account. Vision, it's very important. And the rest which I mentioned. So think about it. And this is a wish from my side.
Arvydas, can you please continue? Because they took the first step. And
sure.
Can you...
Just a couple of more comments. Once we talked about team. And a second aspect is we've got to learn to adapt. Environment is constantly changing. When I look at our portfolio and also at previous companies' portfolios, I see that on a day of exit, and we have exited a couple of companies, on a day of exit, they did not do exactly like they started. We always adapted to changing situation, and situations are changing constantly. So it's not enough to have a business plan stick and glued into concrete. No way. We have to learn to navigate to openings which are happening now and here. And that's another aspect on the team. The team has to be strong enough to manage new openings, analyze new openings, and make a choice. It's very important to make a choice. It's not necessary. I don't want to say is that a good or bad choice. It's very important to make a choice and keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. And by that, in a relatively short time, I promise I have an excellent enterprise or a lot of money or whatever your dream is.
But I have a microphone here, thank you. But guys, reflecting on what you've said, it was thank you for sharing your ideas. But we heard that there is a technical talent pool. We heard there is enough money in the market, that there is expertise to be shared of. But tell me, I'm very curious. What would be the arguments to start up your startup in Lithuania or in this region? Why it's so good for the startups? Why it loves the startups?
I just want to say from my own experience, start in Lithuania because it's much more simple. Just do that. You speak Lithuanian, you sit here, but you can do exactly the same thing in India, in somewhere else. The only difference is that somewhere in India and Australia you don't have such a network, and that's it. And a network is critical for sharing and even testing your ideas. I mean, it's about environment, it's about community, which does exist in here. But I wouldn't say that you cannot repeat that in I don't know, in Antarctica or Northern Russia might be a bit more difficult, but otherwise you can do that. It simply will take you much more time.
And preferably money, isn't it?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Tomas, please share your ideas on that.
Maybe two things. One of the things which is very important is that, believe me, in bigger countries there is more startups. This trend is all over the world. It's not only Lithuania. So, if very honest answer, nobody waits you there. And this is the real truth. And as it was said, it is really easy to do it in Lithuania. So grab an opportunity and do it. And the third thing, which is, in my opinion, is important, is either we learn something from, for example, from the Israel and Startup Nation, which is now a lot of success stories and written books. They did that intellect, consolidated the network in one place. So let's do it here. And let's be a little bit nationalist from that side, that let's create a good success stories. Don't run away from Lithuania. This is great country to live in. This is great country, and people utilize it.
Thank you. Rokas, what's your ideas?
Well, a lot has been said and done, so I'm not going to reiterate everything else already said here. On top of everything else, I'd like to go back to what Paulius has said about this. We have the fastest internet in the world, or something like the fastest internet. You can steal a movie in a few minutes. So it's one of the infrastructure advantages here. We have a lot of technical talent available, certainly much more available than in Berlin or London. In that regard, I'd say, I said this in one other conference about a year ago, we're a small country, and that's our greatest advantage. Because we can't really build products for local markets, right? Because you will never get anywhere to any meaningful place if you only saturate the Lithuanian market or just a fraction of it. So a lot of people build products for global markets. And if you go to Poland, Ukraine, Germany, and a lot of other places, you see all these guys thinking about their hometowns, which are cities of millions, thinking about their home region, home country, and they're stuck in their home country for up to 5 years or so. Guys from here, which is not only true of Lithuania, but also for all Baltic states, is that they think about global markets right away. I suppose we have a number of other advantages. We have public institutions that are here to help. We have huge international diaspora who is out there, and you can reach out to specialists and professionals working in whatever market you want to go for. We do have that. I think my punchline is, number one reason is because spring is finally here.
Thank you. Donatas, what's your idea? Whoops.
Just Lithuania, I think, is a very good place to start up. couple, the same reasons as we mentioned, but of course it's until certain level, it's faster, easier, and much cheaper to do that in Lithuania than any other country. I know at least, because you know everybody here. It's easy to add up in the team if you need somebody. It's easy to approach us. It's easier to approach other colleagues, and would be much harder to do that in Silicon Valley, London, Warsaw, or Moscow, especially Moscow probably.
So may I conclude that the the big startups will come with the smaller places, right? Should I say that? And it's small places which are convenient to start up, right? And go global. Thank you, everybody. Now we're gonna take the questions from the audience. We have the service here with the microphone, and he wants to ask the question. Any of the panelists, except me, moderator. Thank you very much. Anybody? Yeah, there's a question there.
Hello. So my question will be, what are the possibilities to get funding without any working project?
Anybody without working project? Anybody?
All right. Well, us at Highway, we would definitely pick up a team that only has, I don't know, a vision, a plan, a dream. We've already done that. We have had a couple of very, very early stage guys with only an idea in their head, but you have to have a team. So there has to be more than you. That's my condition. But we would definitely pick up a company without the first step yet.
Anybody reflecting on the idea of not having the project?
Yeah, we've done the same thing. So if the team is here and we believe in them and one page of idea, good to go.
So concluding, you can, right? You heard that you haven't had a team. Anybody else? We still have time for some questions, so be brave. Yeah, the question here.
You're always talking about new ideas, new business, and so on. If I don't have an idea, I have just I see how other companies working in Lithuania, and I can say I can work and do better than this company. What you are thinking about this? I mean, when the people don't have new idea, just can say they can do better than other companies.
So should we understand that the same idea, but the better execution, right?
Yeah, I mean, if somebody is working and I think I can do better than other people, the idea is not new.
Thank you.
Give a call. Yeah, we've got companies, and if somebody calls us and says, guys, you are doing, well, not exactly great, or I can improve. Just let's sit down and do something. I mean, it's all about making companies better. It's not like diminishing their value. So give a call.
So you'll be calling Arvydas, I see it, afterwards. So saying I can do better. Anybody else?
And also it's about attitude. The thing which you are mentioning, it's already new idea. This is about view. If you do something better, a lot of things, for example, as a phone, it was not invented by, I don't know, iPhone, but they did it better. And it's about that. So if you have something real changing, which reduces lead time 2 times, so you can set up a startup on your own, or maybe you can go to that company and say, I'll do it and I would like to get a success, something out of it. It depends if you yourself or you already have a team. So there is at least 2 ways to go, and I believe if you'll think about it, maybe you'll find even more of the ways what to do with this idea which is in your mind.
Hey, so I also think that seeing inefficiencies in the market is the way to go. At the end of the day, we're still talking business here. We're still talking servicing clients, producing services and products, and making money on the back of it. So creating value and earning a little bit back in return. So there is only as far we can go with the word idea. It's a metaphor, right? Business is about finding opportunities in the market, whether it's already existing opportunities where other companies operate, or whether it's new opportunities that no one has ever went in those. It's either making things more efficient than already are, or expanding the limits somehow. And that's what businesses are about. So while we're talking here about startups, typically it focuses around ideas, but business focus about finding out opportunities. And so definitely, if you see that some companies are operating with some clear boundaries, and you can do better than that, and hopefully not only in Lithuania, but also in broader region, maybe worldwide, go for it.
Thank you very much for your question. So you had the reflections, and we have time for nearly last question.
Hello.
Hello.
We are talking about exactly about software as a mean business success case, yes?
Yeah.
But as I understand, software in all time maybe there is about 20% of successful story, yes? So my question would be, what exactly ideal company or guys should contain in a team to get a success business, not success software, but success business, yes? Because as I understand, not all IT persons should be in that team, yes?
So if we understood you correctly, how the team should look
Yeah.
like, right?
How team should, what people contain, maybe, yes.
And what features,
Market,
right?
market specialist, yeah, business, sales specialist, and so on.
Okay. So any guys could reflect on the mixture of the team and the company?
At least one or two guys should be entrepreneurs. So we should understand to know how we are working as entrepreneurs. We should understand that we are working in order to create or develop or list company. We should have basic knowledge on finances, because finances, at least in our practice, it's a fundamental problem. And what we usually do before we do any investment, we try to understand, do we have a financial understanding or some kind of understanding on how finances are running in a company. Because it's very easy to spend money. It's very difficult to earn money. So I would say that. Otherwise, I wouldn't say that there is a matrix, how exactly it has to be done. No, I see various company teams with various skills in various situations. Team changes when situation changes, so keep that in mind. That's, sorry, poor answer, but it's what I can do.
Anybody else reflecting? Yeah.
As I see this, two main persons have to be in team. As a business person, he can be tech guy, sales guy, marketing guy, but he should be business guy, run the company. And the tech guy who is going to do the thing, coding or whatever you're doing. If it's engineering, so engineer should be the guy behind the technology and the guy behind the business. So two people. Of course, at the different stages of the company, you need more skills to add up, and that's the company growth. But I want the person behind the business to know how to build the team and at least know the principle, how to build the team, how to attract the people into the company. So two people for a start.
Okay, Rokas?
I think I could just give you a recipe for a star team for any kind of business, really. So it's more than one person. That's what makes a team. They work as a team. They split tasks between them. They support each other. At least someone has an idea about how to run business. So he's a businessman, entrepreneur, finances, and all of that. At least someone is a leader. And then in between, how many there are guys, they should have all the core competences in the business. So if it's a software business, someone should obviously be aware of how to make software businesses and how to make software. If it's production, someone should be into the production and into the product and into the marketing and so on. On top of that, ideally, they would have some prior experience in the market they're going into, network, so on and so forth. And I think really on top of that, they should be just restless and going after, very, very active and very hard to slow down, and obviously very adaptive to change.
So guys, thank you very much for your kind attention. I'm sorry we're out of time, so you could go to the panelists and ask them personal questions. So the same question for 4 guys. And thank you very much for your kind attention. Thank you, panelists. And let's clap for us, everybody. Thank you. You've been a great. Thank you.